Hello, I'm Super Orange Cat here today with my predictions for week 2 of this college football season. Now note, before I continue on this video, if you are planning on betting, make sure you only bet with money that you are prepared to lose. With that, I'm going to go ahead and give you my predictions. First game I want to look at is the big noon kickoff in Austin, Texas between the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Texas Longhorns. A lot of talk going into this week, most of it in the terms of, well, can Texas hang in there against a team like Alabama? Like, this is the second year of the Steve Sarkisian experiment. Some promise so far. A lot of people looking forward to Quinn Ewers in a big game like this. Can he perform? And at the same time, although those are very valid questions, the real question is, can Texas defense stop Bryce Young? I mean, I know last week they played a cupcake in Utah State, but Alabama looked like absolute world beaters. And right now, the only team in the country right now that I think can even hang in a game with Alabama is probably Georgia. And with that being said, I think not only is there not going to be a Texas upset this week, I am actually pretty confident Bama covers the 20-point line. Nick Saban likes pouring it on, and he definitely loves pouring it on in a big game like this when people are talking about well how Alabama needs to play a big team before we know if they're legit again this year. And again, time after time, Nick Saban proves yes, Alabama will always be legit when he is at the helm. And again, I have Alabama covering the 20 points. The next game is a 3:30 kickoff between the 24th ranked Tennessee Volunteers and the 17th ranked Pittsburgh Panthers. That game being played at Acrisure Stadium, formerly Heinz Field, in Pittsburgh. Although you can point at Pittsburgh and their higher rating and the fact that this is a home game for them, but at the same time, Tennessee has built a sneakily good program over there. Like a few years ago, they were an absolute dumpster fire. You had the whole question of who's going to be their head coach. I was like, oh, is this person signed as a head coach? And that whole thing. But since then, Tennessee has done great strides to rebound their image, especially on the field. And although I wouldn't put Tennessee up there quite yet with a team like Georgia or Alabama, and Tennessee cursed to have both teams in their schedule every season. I think right now they are still an underrated team at 24th, and there is a reason why they are the favorites on the road here by almost a touchdown. It is because they have built a juggernaut, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They are a team I do not take lightly, and although Pittsburgh definitely won a very clutch game in the backyard brawl last week, it wasn't the type of game that screamed Pittsburgh is back to how they were last year. I think Tennessee covers this, and I think they win definitely by more than the touchdown here. Next game I want to look into is Kentucky versus Florida. This is a 7 p.m. kickoff, and this game is being played down in the swamp in Gainesville, Florida. Now, last week you saw Florida very publicly defeat Utah at home, a then 7th ranked Utah team. Big emotional moment. Really, Anthony Richardson's coming out party for many people. But you also have Kentucky, who started the year perhaps arguably the favorite to finish second behind Georgia in the SEC East. They played a game against Miami of Ohio. They won it, I guess, reasonably comfortably, but they did not look particularly impressive in that win. They needed a couple special teams touchdowns, and outside of that, Miami of Ohio had periods where they definitely looked like they could hang in there with Kentucky. And again, this game is in the swamp. It is September. It will be sticky. It will be hot. And I don't know if Kentucky can handle that atmosphere. And that is why I think pretty easily Florida will cover the 6 point line as well for this game. And the fourth game I have is USC versus Stanford. Now, this is a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. This game being played down on the quote-unquote farm in Palo Alto, California, between the, I think, 12th ranked USC Trojans and the Stanford Cardinal. USC looked great last week, winning 66-10 over the Rice Owls. I know Rice, always a cupcake, and a cupcake conference in the Conference USA. But still, it's always nice to get an 8 touchdown win when you can. And Stanford, if you think of Stanford, you might be thinking of recent history teams where they have someone like Andrew Luck, or the teams that would always contend with Oregon for the Big 12, the Pac 12 North title. This is not that type of team anymore. This Stanford team is not really even bowl level good. They're dismal. It's a lot like the early 2000s again. And even though this game is being played in Stanford, I don't know if they can keep this one within 9 points against a USC team that has a revitalized offense. That being said, I think USC goes up to Palo Alto, thumps the Cardinal, and wins by more than 9 points. But to summarize my predictions once again for this week, I have Alabama covering, I have Tennessee covering, I have Florida covering, and I have USC covering. I know it's not fun that every bet is a cover, but at the same time, that's just how I see things going this week. So what do you guys think? Leave your comments, leave your opinions down below. If you have other pick ideas, submit them. I am the Super Orange Cat, and that is all.